Alright guys, so hi. I'm scared. I'm a little scared. Welcome back to the channel. It's Lauren. Thank you so much for watching. Today I am going to be trying the Wild Greens palette from Urban Decay. You know, when I picked this up, I thought it'd be a good idea, but now that I've seen some thumbnails, I haven't watched any videos yet. I didn't want to like spoil my own personal thoughts. But I'm like nervous that I'm not gonna like this. And then also I have just barely dabbled my little fingies in here to swatch some things. And again, I'm a little nervous. We'll see though. I mean, I want to go in still with an open mind. If you guys don't know, let's talk a little bit about the palette and why I picked this up. This is from Urban Decay. It is the Wild Greens palette. I ordered this off of their website when it launched, and the reasons that this one kind of got me, one, it was one of the most exciting launches I feel like so far this year that I was like interested in. Something was intriguing. I think that this packaging is really cute, and I was actually really happy that it wasn't in the naked, you know, palette formatting. It was exciting seeing something different from Urban Decay, seeing new packaging, a new format. So I think that the outside is just so cute with the eyeball. I could do without the kind of flaps, you know. We don't need that, but they did that. Could have just been normal. I would have been okay with that as well, but alas. And then inside here we have a half like neutral, a half green palette, and I've been into neutrals. I thought the greens looked pretty. I liked it. I just liked the idea of this palette, and I thought, you know what? Something new from Urban Decay. Maybe this is something exciting. What if the shimmers in here really are amazing? I wanted to give it a go, and so I decided to pick it up, and now we're gonna really see if that's the case. So I'm gonna do swatches first here. I'm gonna do them on my arm, and I'm gonna describe the colors for you guys so you can kind of know what's in here, and then we will get into the look. All right, so looking at the palette, there is a mix of mattes, there's a mix of shimmers. It's not super shimmer heavy. I would say it's like half and half. The first shade in here is called Chill, and I would call it like a satin, not quite metallic, like pearly shade. For me, this color would work well, I think, on the inner corner, on the brow bone. And I actually like that this one isn't a metallic because I like a satin shade like that on the brow bone and again on that inner corner. It's not too shiny, and it can let whatever on the lid shine through. Next, we have the shade Lo-Fi. This is a peachy brown. It definitely leans more into that peachy, almost pink looking of a neutral, and it's definitely pretty light. It would be potentially a transition color on me. Next is the shade Kickback. This is another matte. This is a nice like neutral leaning cool brown shade. I actually really like this one too. I'm excited to use that. Next is the shade Fuzz, and this was one I was excited about. It is a duochrome, and it is pretty. It has like a green sparkle, it has a pink kind of red sparkle, a bit of a golden hue is coming from it, but the base is red. I do think it's really pretty, and I'm happy that this shade is in here. I definitely wish there were a few more of these shades, but at least we have this. I'm excited to see how it actually looks on the eye though. Next we have the shade Turmeric, and this is an orangey brown. It's definitely quite orange though. I would say it leans more orange than it does brown, and it's a matte. But all of these mattes, I have to say, are not a harsh matte. I don't know, there's like a softness to them. There's like a slight, if you really got in there and looked, like almost a pearl, but not. And there's no sparkle, but I don't know how to explain it. It's not like flat matte. And last on the top row is High Vibe. I really like the color of this. It'll be interesting to see how this fares on the eye. This is a pink red with an orange kind of bronzy shimmer over top. It definitely has a pink base though. So like if you kind of buff this out, you're gonna be left with something a little bit more pink, and some of that golden top shimmer is gonna fly away, I think. I'm pretty sure. Next on the bottom row, this is called Earthside. This is a cool toned brown, and this one would be more of a transition on me as well. It's almost kind of grayish. Next is the shade Super Greens, and I'm actually pretty impressed with this one. It's a matte, and I think the pigmentation on this one's pretty good. I was worried it would be worse, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy. I'm excited to see how that actually translates on the eye. Next we have the shade Prickly. This is a minty teal type color, you know, like a blue-green mint. Very similar to the outer packaging actually. It has some nice sparkle in it. It looks like it has almost like a pinky purple sparkle, so we'll see how that goes. Then we have the shade Twist. This one is such an interesting color because it's a olive green gold, and it kind of has a gray base almost to it. It's interesting. I think it's a nice like neutral green option in here. Definitely green, but I think it's not going to be too scary, and you can really beef out the green with the matte. mattes. Then we have the shade Kale. This is a matte kind of seaweed olive green, a lot of yellow in this green. That one seems pretty pigmented. And then Stash is a satin type shade. It's a deep olive, kind of like army green color. This would look really pretty, kind of smudged all on the eye if you wanted something smoky or in the outer corner to deepen up some looks. So anyway, that is the palette. You know, swatching out today as opposed to the first time I swatched them, I'm actually a little more hopeful. I don't know. My first impression, just dipping my fingers in, I was just, I don't know. We'll see. Again, sometimes things work better on the eyes or don't. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm gonna zoom you in and let's make a look. Also, I have to mention there is no mirror on this. So yeah, there's that. Okay, I'm going to prime my eyes first. I haven't done that yet. I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Primer Potion because it's Urban Decay's and I just felt like, you know what, let's give it the best chance it can. You would, oh my gosh, you would think the primer that's gonna work best would be the one from the same company, and I happen to have it, so I'm just priming my eyelids so that they can be ready for shadow. I want to use a mix of colors for this specific look, although I don't think that's how I would wear it normally. I think I would be pretty monochromatic, like either doing the orange or doing the green. Most days, I think for the look today, I think I'm gonna try to do something that combines everything. So first, I'm gonna go into Earthside here, and I'm gonna use this as a transition type shade. I'm keeping it to the outer half of my eye though, and not taking it too far in. Just gonna see how that goes. I didn't like set the primer, so we'll see how it blends out. My goal is to have more of the browns on the outer corner. I'm gonna have some green in the inner corner. We'll see, I don't have it all the way flushed out yet. When I have less on the brush, I do bring it in just a little just to get that blend, but I'm really not trying to put too much here because we're gonna put green there. All right, so far I think that blended out really nice. Like, I think it looks good. And I think it deepened up maybe a little bit more than I thought, like initially swatching it. So I think that's great too. For the inside kind of part of my eye here, I wanna pop that Super Greens color. I think it's just so fun for spring. This is also a color I could see myself just kind of putting on the inner corner, but it'll be interesting to see how this deepens up. Sometimes I find with pastels like this, you put them on, but then they kind of, I don't know, deepen up more than I expect anyway. So I'm just putting this kind of in that front inner portion of the brow and then blending back. And this color I might pop in throughout. Again, sometimes with pastels, I find that they kind of sink into the skin. I don't know how to explain it, but they can kind of like lose their brightness and turn more saturated and not as bright and light as they sit on my skin. So I might pop in and beef it up a bit. Okay, I don't know how much orange is gonna actually make it in here. I'm finding it difficult to pair the two into this one look, but I think I might use this gold. We'll see. I don't wanna ruin my look. I definitely think so far with this palette, like you'll probably either again do green looks or you will do something more neutral, unless you're doing like a pop on the inner corner or something like that. At least for me, that's how my brain works and what I'm seeing as possibilities. I'm gonna go in and start deepening the outer corner with the shade Kickback here. I think that looks really great. I mean, I feel like it's showing up a little bit deeper again than I expected it to look on me, but it's still totally wearable. I don't know if this is gonna be the right choice, you guys. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with Fuzz and I'm gonna put that all on the lid. I don't know if I'm gonna need a glitter glue to really make this show up or not, but I'm hoping it'll work out. So that's just without glitter glue, and I think it's a pretty shade, I really do, but I am just unimpressed. Like, it's not sticking very well. But let me see what I have. I might not have an exact glitter glue, but maybe some type of sticky base just to see if we can really enhance it. Okay, I don't have glitter glue. I finally got rid of it after having it for 5 years and haven't purchased it again, so that's what I'm gonna do right after this video. I'm gonna go in with this Sigma base though, and I'm just going to put a little on the lid, not really blend it out, and see if it can like stick to it a little bit better or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, that definitely helps. It does give it a little bit more of a textured look on my lids, as in like thickness. Let me see if I can explain this. So I love texture as in sparkle. The texture I'm talking about is more like a heaviness from like a build-up layers of product or something, but that definitely helped a lot. So there's some hope. There's some hope here. I'm gonna show you. This is the one without any type of like more sticky base. This isn't even totally sticky, but it's already, I feel like, so much better and showing this shine better in the sparkle. You have to let me know what you think, but definitely I think the way to go. I did have a little bit of fallout though. I'm gonna leave us zoomed in here. I'm gonna try to match them up because I'd like even eyes. I think that'd be nice. Okay, I do like this color. I do like it. I'm hoping that, you know, with a little more moisture on my lid, like if I was just going over with a cream shadow and then just tapping that shade straight on, none of the matte in the crease and stuff, I think that would actually be the best way to get the most shine from this, and probably how I'd wear it a lot. Just one shadow, that's it. Maybe add the matte afterward so that it has the best chance to like stick, because it's a little bit of a drier shadow. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna smudge some of this brown liner on, but then in this outer corner, I'm also gonna smudge some of that dark green. I'm also gonna tightline a little. I'm taking some of that stash color. I decided I think that putting the mint here would be kind of fun, so I'm gonna take the shade Prickly, that kind of teal, and I'm gonna blend that in the inner part of the lower lash line. I feel like that shade's not turning that blue. It has a bit of a golden sheen, which is just kind of turning it overall green, almost like a shimmery version of this color. Okay, I feel like this is looking a bit of a mess. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I'm gonna take Chill in my inner corner and the brow bone. Let's hope this can be okay. I'm also gonna take a little more of that green and just pop that. All right, let me add some mascara. That usually helps, and we'll see where the look's at. All right, guys, so here we are. I don't know. I'm not like a fan of this look, so I don't know how much of that is just like trying something too much, trying to use too many shadows. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. Not my favorite. Not my favy look I've ever done, I can tell you that. I'm excited to still try it. Let me zoom out. I need to put on, oh my gosh. I need to put on some blush and stuff. I haven't done that yet. There was like tons of fallout too. I don't know if you saw that. Like, the shimmers were quite aggressively on my cheeks, which I use shimmery, like flaky textured shadows quite often. And although sometimes I get a little bit of fallout, it's more like a little bit here and there. I'm a little bit surprised I had so much, considering I really was trying to be careful. I was trying to really stick it onto a base. I don't know. I'm surprised, I guess, by how unsparkly the shadow seems, or like not as sparkly as other shadows I use, but then I have more fallout than with more sparkly shadows that I do use. Does that make sense? Like, for blush today, I'm going to use this Duo. I thought peaches would look good with the look. And for lips, I'm using this Milani lip liner in Spice and the NYX Sugar High Butter Balm, Butter Gloss. Okay, so let's talk about the palette. Now that I've done my first impressions, this is not going to be like a final review in any way. Overall, I guess the simplest way I could put it is that so far I feel like this could be okay for some people, depending on how they want to use these colors. So if you're someone who really likes neutrals, you don't like a ton of pigment, you want something easy, and you don't need a lot of shine, you just want something kind of low-key but green and orange, this might work for you perfectly fine. I still, even in that category, just kind of put this as a meh. It's just a meh product. Packaging's cute. I do like the color story. I just find that there's something lacking to me in desirability in these shadows, and I'm trying to figure out what that exactly is, because I like things like the Charlotte Tilbury quads that I have. It doesn't need to necessarily be more pigmented. I just don't particularly love the formula of these shimmers so far. They're not sparkly enough, but they're not pigmented enough, but they're not really a satin. Like, it's hard to place what they are, and I am excited to keep using it. Maybe my thoughts will change. Honestly, maybe I just did too much. Like, I should have just done maybe a simpler look, and I definitely think that this isn't the palette for you if you want to try to use a ton of colors. I just don't think these colors do that. They're here for like a crease shade, maybe a lid shade. They're here for, at the most, you know, crease, outer corner, lid shade. Like, that's what you're doing, and that's kind of it. It does deepen up more than I thought on me, but, you know, there's really only Stash in here. I would say Kickback is still kind of a medium tone, and even Stash is a shimmer and it's green, so there's not a ton of depth coming from this palette, so there's that as well. I don't know. I definitely feel like I could have skipped this, and, you know, I just have so many amazing shadows in my collection. I'll probably do some type of video at some point of like trying to dupe this out, just making it better, like a similar color story, but my shadows that are like so much better. There's just nothing to write home about. And I definitely think if you're someone who loves color and we're somehow being swayed by the greens in this palette, thinking this might be something you'd like, it's not going to be for you. Like, if you love color and something a bit bold, and for some reason this was catching your eye, I say skip it. Like, don't get it. And if you're someone that's still on the fence even after everything I say, maybe wait and see if it goes on sale. I have a feeling it might. I definitely feel like the sale price would be better. It feels a little bit cheaper packaging wise than other things from them. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not in love. I don't love this eye look. I don't feel really pretty in this eye look. I'm hoping I can create some other ones though. I'll definitely keep you updated with my thoughts, but so far, right now, first impressions, like, I would take my money back and not have this, and yeah. That's how I feel. I feel like I definitely could have duped this color story. I was hopeful that it would be something that I really liked. Hopefully something like the Stone Vibes palette, maybe a formula like that, but it was not. It was not for me anyway. So those are some of my first impression thoughts. I'd love to know, were you interested in this palette? Did you pick this palette up? And if you've tried it, let us know your thoughts down below. Maybe you love it. Maybe you hate it even more than me. We'll see where it goes. I do feel kind of like in the meh section, but that meh to me is overall disappointing. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.